Well, clean drinking water is something that a lot of folks may take for granted.
Something more than 100 people in Sullivan County, though, continue to live without tonight. The water that comes out of the taps in the Denton Valley community near Bristol, it smells and it looks terrible. In fact, homeowners there are really afraid to drink their water, unsure of exactly what's in it. Well, thanks to our community watchdog, they now know what's living in their water, and it's not necessarily good news. Since our community watchdog first started asking questions in October, this community's gotten closer and closer to securing the clean water they need. But it is not a done deal yet. Our latest community watchdog investigation could give the community the final push it needs. In a special report tonight, News Channel 11's Nate Morabito found out it appears their water may not be safe to drink.
Rural Denton Valley, home to farms and plenty of water. A beautiful but potentially dangerous combination. It may look pristine on the surface, but what lies beneath is far from clean.
It tastes like rotten eggs.
75-year-old Norman Roberts is scared of the water that comes out of his tap.
You just don't really know what's in it.
He's sure there's sulfur and iron ore, but the rest remains a mystery, one he'd love to solve.
I've never drank a cup of water out of that faucet.
Isn't it sad?
Yeah.
Many in his community don't trust the water from their well. That's why their storerooms and fridges are stocked with bottled water.
I just don't feel secure about it.
15 minutes down the road in the city limits of Bristol, it's a whole different story.
I have been places where it wasn't too good, and there's a big difference.
Paul Geiger couldn't be happier with his city water.
It's always been everything I could expect out of water.
So how much better off is he than the others?
Just open it. This is a sterile bottle already.
Okay.
Fill it to the top, seal it.
We solicited the help of East Tennessee State University to find out.
You want to run it for at least a minute so you're getting straight from the well.
The Department of Environmental Health gave us all the tools required for the job.
This is for the bacteria.
The one thing you wouldn't want in your water is bacteria.
That's the biggest thing.
All right, so we have what we need to properly test the water. All we have to do now is turn on the taps.
And that's just what we did.
You're more than welcome to test it.
We collected samples at all 3 homes, 2 of which rely on wells, 1 city water.
Should let you know in 24 hours.
Shortly after, the results came in.
Not surprisingly, the water from the city of Bristol was crystal clear.
Unfortunately, we couldn't say the same for Norman Roberts and Connie Hilliard's water.
The results are in, and we found E. coli in both of your all's wells.
Oh, my.
Wow.
E. coli? That's dangerous, isn't it?
The news caught them off guard.
That's
We don't.
unbelievable.
My goodness.
Did you think it was that bad?
No.
The 2 sat on this couch for more than 15 minutes. The wind clearly knocked out of them.
You just look in disbelief, Norman.
It's hard for me to believe, Nate, that E. coli is in those wells.
Is that a safety concern?
Well, it could be.
ETSU environmental health professor Dr. Phil Scheuerman analyzed the results.
It's probably not the age of the well, it's how the land was used. The numbers that we saw were really low, but still they would violate the public drinking water standards, so, there's a possibility of exposure to pathogens in that water.
Dr. Scheuerman wouldn't be overly concerned had people been drinking this water for years. By now, their bodies would have likely built up a tolerance. But what about those who've never had a drink from their tap?
What if you've never tasted that water? Is now a good time to start?
Probably not, no.
That is shocking.
Yes, it is. I have no idea that it was that bad.
Don't worry. You can bet these 2 will keep their taps off, at least for now.
Thank you so very much for helping us to understand what we have got out here, man. We didn't have any idea that it was that bad. We just thought it was sulfur and iron ore,
Heart breaks for them. I think the bigger picture here seems to be, it sounds like if we have city water, as we call it, you're in good shape, correct?
Yeah, that's what our expert says. He says since city water is monitored and treated so heavily, he believes there's no better or safer source of drinking water than municipal water. In fact, he says municipal water is so regulated, it's even better than bottled water. Though, some people would argue all the chemicals used to treat city water is a downside.
Nate Morabito, fantastic reporting, Nate. Thank you very much. Now, we mentioned the results could help this community's cause in getting water. We passed them along to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. In 2008, the USDA awarded a $2.1 million federal grant to install water in Denton Valley. But the utilities involved failed to make that project a reality. The money is set to expire next month. Well, after our community watchdog report in October first exposed the problem, the USDA reached out to everyone involved, and now we're just waiting to find out if the USDA will grant the utilities an extension so that money and project can be saved. We should have an answer any day now.